actually end up being. And HoeJJa looks like he's just going to say, no, you can't have the 12 o'clock position, what are you going to do? But I don't think he realizes that the top left is about to go up, and that could end up being very painful for him if he doesn't notice that and doesn't stop that. He could think that Jangbi's nearly starved out when Jangbi really isn't, and that could end up being a huge turning point in terms of the decision making of these players, in terms of where they what kind of game plan they really go for. We could see HoeJJa misunderstand the situation of the game. And I have someone at the door, so I'm going to be back in just a moment.
Okay, I come back just as HoeJJa streaming circles over to the top left, and these cannons do not have much of a chance. These cannons are going to go to... Oh, what? Maybe not? Okay, HoeJJa, see, now if you split up your attack, you might not miss... Wow. That... Okay. I mean, HoeJJa really should have been able to take that down either by just ransacking the pylon or by actually focusing his fire with his zealots. He should have been able to take that down. But now Jangbi's actually going to be able to hold this, and he's killing off a lot of Zergling. And as we head into the economic challenging phase of this game, where neither player really has too much economy left going for him, you're going to really see the force, the power of Protoss, Archons, and Storms really coming into play. As you know, he'll be able to spam Archons and High Templar at a pretty solid rate still, whereas HoeJJa will really only be able to make the Zerglings, maybe Ultras are going to be beyond him in not too long once his mining really starts running out. He still has probably a few minutes left where he can still produce Ultras, still produce a powerful army, but he is going to need another base. You can see him long distance mining now from the 6 o'clock position because he doesn't have really much of anything else. And the spamming of Archons has begun. You can see how many Archons there are, and a couple shuttles, even if they have just a couple of Reavers, will really be enough to destroy and really turn the tide of the battle in Jangbi's favor. And the next engagement will probably be very, very telling. The next engagement, should HoeJJa should Jangbi get his Reavers in position well and not get entirely flanked by HoeJJa, you could see Jangbi come away with a very dramatic and powerful victory. The other problem for HoeJJa here is that, yes, he's long distance mining from the 6 o'clock, but Jangbi's going to get that top left base mining pretty shortly, and this is very dangerous for HoeJJa to try and maintain the position that he's in right now, because the longer this game goes on, and the more Archons start being spammed, and his Ultras are no longer being produced, it really puts him at a military deficiency. So he needs to try to find some avenue, some opening that he can try and take advantage of, and it looks like he may be going for a drop here to try and do some damage to more of the gateways. And Jangbi, if you look at this, look how few gateways he has. Even at the peak of this game, I don't think he ever had more than like 8 or 9 gateways. Such a low count. But he's been able to use his troops very, very effectively, spamming Zealots and High Templars, and yeah, has actually come into this game with a very, very nice game plan. And I'm still kind of shocked that he has that center base. Like, those 2 gases, the fact that he's on 5 gas is just so insane. That's just absolutely insane that he's on 5 gas with only, like, 4 bases. That's so ridiculous. And that is so good for him and so bad for HoeJJa. Here comes some cracklings. Looks like they're going to start taking down some more gateways. I'm not sure how much Jangbi really cares, or how much he's really going to devote to stopping this. Maybe a couple zealots, but I don't think he's going to really devote too much effort to this. I don't think it's too much of a worry for him. I don't think he really needs to be defending this area too much more. I mean, he needs to stop this with that and get a pylon back up so he can use those gateways, but he's really not going to be producing too many more units for the rest of this game unless that top left base really gets going and he can maybe get another base or something like that. He is starting to build up a nice Reaver count along with his Archons, and this is just, I really just gotta think that Jangbi's going to come away with this victory here, just because of the power of Archon Reaver and how virtually impossible it is for Zerg players to defeat really large, really powerful Archon Reaver. And I'm sure both players are virtually completely upgraded, so that's just, I just think that it's going to end up being too much for HoeJJa. HoeJJa really needs to come and get a nice battle situation for him. And here he comes. Look, he's coming in with all of his Ultras. Going to come in for a huge attack. Storm's going down all over the Ultras, and the Archon's now making a nice little arc here, but the Reavers are not in position. Remember what I said earlier about the Reavers and the importance of the Reavers being in position. They are not in position. They are not in this battle very much at all, and that's why these Ultras are doing so well. With the Reavers were there, that battle would not have gone nearly as well for HoeJJa, and HoeJJa still not able to get the victory, but just think if the Reavers were in that battle, HoeJJa would have been absolutely slaughtered. That would not have even been close. That would have been very, very ugly for him, but at least but he was able to kill off a lot of Archons and reduce the count, at least for now. Looks like those Ultras are going to the top left. They are not going to have much success. May actually lose a couple of them if they try and get up that ramp to Reavers. So needs to be careful there for sure. And Jangbi just needs to keep doing what he is doing. Just keep playing defensively. Just keep trying to maintain this top left base. If he can maintain this top left base, he will just get such a nice lead here and continue to produce Archon Reaver, and he will be in good shape. Looks like these Ultras and Lings are not going to do much of anything. Looks like they barely killed even a single unit there. But several Ultras as well as the Lings went down. So not able to do too much there. Blew up a pylon, but I really don't think Jangbi's too concerned about that. Something tells me that he's nowhere near Psy-capped. Just a gut feeling. I think it would be really funny right now is if Jangbi produced like, I don't know, 4 Corsairs or 5 Corsairs with this +1 upgrade and just started wandering around popping Overlords again. Because most of the Spore colonies are dead. And, well, that would just be really, really funny if you saw HoeJJa get Psy-capped at this stage of the game and had to use more money on Overlords, and then DT started coming out and really started putting HoeJJa in a really bad position. That would just be really, really funny. But I don't think he's really going to do that. I don't think that's the dominant strategy. It's just a funny idea I have because I think it would be very, very entertaining. But it looks like Jamie's going to start taking that top left natural expansion as well. So he is actually getting his force still developing. His economy is still trying to get back up and running. And HoeJJa is still running on fumes, still long distance mining that 6 o'clock base. And that's about all he's doing other than his depleted gas mines. Looks like his Ultras and some Zerglings are going to come up here, pick off a couple more High Templars. But this force is going to die. I mean, it's not like it's going to have any chance of survival here. And not really doing that much damage, to be honest, and there they do go down. So they killed off a couple an Archon as well as some High Templars, but that's just not enough because he hasn't been able to really diminish the army of Jangbi enough. Although he is coming in now to the top left natural expansion, going to try and do some damage there. And oh man, if the Reavers get micro-collected with that shuttle, oh man, this could be really bad. Once again, I don't think that these Ultras are going to be able to do much of anything. No, they are not. These Reavers are able to blow them all up, and will really only be able to blow up 1 cannon. So that's not nearly enough damage once again done. At the same time, Jangbi has managed to stop the 9 o'clock base from going up, so he's going to start mining off of 2 complete bases, as well as all of his depleted gas mines, and HoeJJa is just mining off of the 6 o'clock base, as well as the depleted gas mine. So, Zerg players need to be economically ahead of their Protoss and Terran opponents, and this is a case where he is most certainly not. He does manage to pick off that shuttle, so the Reavers are going to be that much less mobile, which is very, very good for him. And picking up that Ultras only to have it die inside of the Overlord, that is a little bit depressing to see for HoeJJa. But I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. And here comes a DT to the 6 o'clock position. How long before HoeJJa realizes it? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 8, there's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And are we going to stop at 22? Yeah, I think we're going to stop at 22. I have a feeling, I don't understand Korean, but I think that what the Korean commentators were doing was doing what I was doing, and that is counting the number of kills on the Dark Temple, which is hilarious. And there's GG from HoeJJa. Jangbi's finishing off his game with that nice little DT there, able to kill off 22 drones, or maybe it was 21 drones and a larva, I actually think is what it was. But still, that was pretty awesome. Sick game. Definitely lived up to its hype. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That is going to be the only set I do from this series, but that was a pretty baller game from Jangbi, and HoeJJa definitely played very, very well in addition to that. So that was a very, very entertaining game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to head out